Alright, welcome back to Close Enough Garage. Boy, it is hot and humid out here, but check it out. One of the more common questions I see on the internet and on forums and groups and all that for putting on taller bars is how do I extend my cables, how do I extend my wiring? Y'all know I've got 18-inch bars on 2-inch risers over there on Rodeo. So everything I have is extended. The cables, we might do another time if I ever, God forbid, have to build a new set for that bike or another bike, maybe my wife's when we go to build hers. But they're easy. You go on, I think you can get them from Amazon too, but it's a Vin Hill wiring kit or a cable kit, and it was less than $50 if I remember right. And they come with these ungodly long cables and all the attachments and fittings and all that shit. So you get the ones, I think they were for Hondas and a few other bikes that, Universal Thread or whatever, but you put them on, you measure out exactly how you need them, you mock them up, you put your ends on and connect everything and you're good to go. I've been running those for a couple years now on Rodeo. Great success, no problems with them at all. As far as the wiring goes, now look, one of the only things I did not touch on that bike was the handlebar controls, because I don't really care. A lot of guys want to hide all that and everything else, and that's cool, but I don't really care. Problem is, like my turn signal switch, stuck, won't push in to cancel, and that's kind of a problem because, I'm a dickhead, and when I ride, I don't really use my turn signals unless there's a cop behind me. It would be really good to use then instead of the stupid ass hand signals and flagging down airplanes and all that other stuff. I don't want to get hit by an airplane, so we're going to go ahead and get these switches replaced, but to do so, I've got to extend the wiring by about that much. So that's what we're going to do today, and that's what I'm going to show you. So I got a new set from the interwebs. We're going to go ahead and cut right through these wires, and we're going to extend these. Guys, it's not expensive, it's not hard to do. I'm going to show you right here how to do it. Really straightforward stuff. I have an Amazon soldering iron. There's a case it comes in. It came with a whole bunch of gadgets that I'll probably never even use, but it does have a stand. It's got a nice little 60-watt soldering iron. It's adjustable. It's done everything I needed to. Every inch of that bike, except for the stock controls, even the wiring for them, has been redone. And I've redone and rebuilt the whole main wiring harness, the light harnesses, everything I needed to get the bike to run right. I hand built my own air ride controls, wired in the resistors, did all that shit. So I've had no failure points except for one time the bike shook the positive cable off the battery, which is weird. But yeah, it's a very rough riding bike. But anyway, yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll get into that and get these cut up, get them extended, put in new wires in the middle, get it all put back on the bike, and get moving on. I've got a start button coming soon for the exact same problem, so I'll be doing this twice, but y'all only have to see it once. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set that aside. Now to start, it doesn't matter how long you need them or anything else. You're going to have to start by cutting the wires because you're going to be splicing each ends. I'm going to pick a point somewhere in the middle, right, and here. And just start cutting them apart. So now we got these cut apart. Got 3 different plugs basically. Put them right in your $5, $10 automatic wire strippers, and they are acting like cheap wire strippers right now too. Something about this knob is bent, so I might actually have to go and get a new pair of these. That sucks. Yeah, because they're not stripping how I want them to. Well, it still works kind of. I just got to hold the wire myself. There we go. We got it stripped. Don't twist it right together. We're going to handle that in a little bit. Got another way I'm going to do it. Yep. They ain't grabbing the wires no more, so I'm going to go ahead and help them. And you're going to go ahead and go through and do this for every wire. hopefully with better gear. What are you doing? Why are you not doing this? Garbage. Well, they were cheap, dude, and I've used them for years. So, I mean, you know, they've probably outlived their expectations. I'm not really too upset. So, I'm going to do this for the rest of these and all of those, and then I will be right back. Alright, good news. I got my wire strippers to work because I was sitting there messing with my knife and running it around and pulling them off, and I wasn't doing it. So, bent some things back into shape, tightened some things, and now they work great. So the next step, we're going to take, you just kind of fan out the ends of the wires a little bit. That's what I like to do. And then I push them together, kind of bird's nest them a little bit. And then I wrap them around, just kind of twist them into shape here. Get all the loose strands, all the little ones that want to fly away there, get them all wrapped around. I don't know how well you can see that, but so then I got a rosin core solder here. A lot of people want to add flux, but you don't really need to add flux to this with rosin core. It's not a big deal. It's not a requirement unless you're working a stubborn joint or a really dirty joint or something like that. At which point you should probably clean your wiring anyway, or cut it back and get a clean section of wire if you can. Now, a lot of people want to go fancy and they want to add a solder third hand, which will hold these on each end and let you just solder them suspended and all that. You want to be fancy, go ahead, do that in your garage. I don't do that here. We don't really need it. But we've got our little soldering iron good and hot here. So I'm going to go ahead, just kind of put it under, give it a minute to heat up the wiring. And we'll start soldering from where the iron is and adding it until I can get the whole join soldered end to end and all the way through. I hope you can see this. I can't see my camera screen right now. I'm going to let it sit on that for a minute till all that solder gets nice and shiny. Because if it stays dull, then you have a cold solder joint and it's not going to hold up as well as it should. Now that's nice and shiny there. So we're going to go ahead and let that rest. Looks like I could definitely add some more to the bottom section there. I didn't get it all the way through. Just put it right where the iron's sitting. Then as it starts to show up through the wire, go ahead and solder end to end. Let it sit, let it shine up again. Drag that booger out of there. And that's going to be good enough, man. You can let it cool, but pull it, it's not going anywhere. You know, of course, it's little wire. You don't want to just grab it and Superman yank it. You're going to break it. But another thing with the wiring, it's expensive to keep a ton of wire, and the price of wire just keeps going up. So as long as you have something similar to the size that's already on there, it's not going to be a big deal. The one thing you don't want to do is go smaller than the wire that you're connecting to, because then you're going to start building up resistance in your additional wire and you could melt your harness. Another thing, you don't want to add like 18, 16 gauge wire and splice it into a big 4 gauge wire, because it's just not going to carry the power how it should. But if you've got like say 16, 18 gauge and then maybe 14 or 16 gauge to add to it, that's going to be just fine, just as long as it's only a hair bigger. And that's what we've got going on here. So then once you get that done, you can go ahead, cut a length of heat shrink. That's probably not going to be thick enough or a small enough heat shrink. I'm going to get into my little box here and see what I've got. I've got a whole bunch of different sizes. These ones should be pretty good. these little guys here. Heat shrink's another thing that's really cheap, and it works better than black tape. Black tape, I really only use it to wrap lengths of wire just to kind of hide it and clean it up a little bit. Other than that, you know, it's not really used very much in my garage. So you just slide it over the end. Now don't do like when you're doing brake lines and forget the heat shrink until after it's all done. And then have to black tape it. And see, I could go a little bit bigger because it's not fitting on. I'm just kind of here playing around. I have all the time in the world and I'm not too worried. So you cover your join. I've got a heat gun here. I can easily use that. I'm not taking it out. I'm being lazy today. So let's take a lighter, kind of hold it under it, and let that heat up on there. Both sides, cook it evenly. And there you go. You've got a nice weatherproof, waterproof connection there. I mean, it's not the greatest. I got to figure out what size heat shrink I really need for this, but that'll hold. It'll keep it dry. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do this for every other wire here too. No idea where I threw my other setup, other switches, but once it's all done, I've got everything joined on both sides, and go ahead and just real tightly wrap it with black tape all the way down, and then I'm going to get the heat gun or the lighter and heat that and just kind of squinch it all the way around it. Now, as far as matching your wiring up, you have all these different colors of wire, and you're just going to lose the one that you need. Oh no, it's right here. It's already on it. I'm tired, guys. So you'll just match them up. And it doesn't really matter if you've got, like we've got two plain black ones here. On Hondas, after the ignition switch, the key ignition, black wire is power and dark green wire is ground. As long as they're solid, no stripe, all that, that's always going to be power. So neither of those is going to matter what I join it to over here. This one there, this wire is kind of like a medium blue with a white stripe on it. There's only one of those in here. So I find this one. I'll slide my heat shrink down onto this. I'll do the same thing. I'll splay them out, bird's nest them, wrap them, solder them. And then I'll do this for every single joint on here. It's going to take a while, so I'm not going to have you guys sit there and watch all that. You probably got better shit to do than watch an hour and a half video of this. So I will be back. Alright, so I'm back here now. Got everything done up. That's how the joins look, top and bottom. Those are all nice and clean. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to kind of twist them a little bit, just to get them to somewhat hold their shape. And I'm going to start with the electric tape right here. And I'm going to wrap it real nice and tight. Once all the way around straight. And then I'm going to just start going at just a little bit of an angle to overlap the tape and start bringing it all the way up. Once I get all the way to the end, right about to where these solder joints are, that's where I'm going to go ahead and end it and cut it off. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll heat it up a little bit and I'll start scrunching it down around it just so it looks a little bit neater. So that's really all there is to it. I got some zip ties in my mouth here. We got the plugs. Just going to go ahead, match them back up. It's real easy. They only fit into each other one way. So black to black, a little white to white. And then see, I got a little light blue one right here. Blue stripe. That'll go with the rest of it. And then we're going to go ahead and finish it up right quick. Wrap it back onto the bars nice and neat with a zip tie. Right there. Another one right there. Grab your flush cutters. Don't be that guy that just leaves them sitting there sharp or hanging off. Cut them, clean them up. Nice and safe, nice and smooth. Alright. I'm going to leave the rest of this apart for now because I do still have to come back and do the other switch that should be coming in tomorrow morning, so we'll get this one replaced and hopefully have this bike all functioning right. It's a lot nicer already just looking at it. So we'll see if it works. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me again. I appreciate y'all. You know, do the whole like, subscribe, share, all that shit. Tell your friends, and you know, hopefully I helped you, and hopefully we help somebody else today. So be safe out there. Y'all have a good one, and happy 4th of July is coming up.